What's up, everybody? It is the Oracle of Elohim. How are you all doing? After my last video, I drove away from this area, and I'm feeling a little bit better. I just, hydrated some. But like I said, I believe they put extra salt or something in there, in that sauce that was drizzled over my salmon. And I had to cut the bottom part off because it had too much seasoning on it. So, of course my salad came out first. And as you're waiting on your food in a restaurant, if you're a targeted individual, someone could, make that phone call or, while your food is in preparation mode, to set you up for a failed attempt to enjoy a moment of solace by yourself, eating a food that you would like to enjoy. But then we have those who are easily manipulated, who are already corrupt, obviously. Because if I was at work and anyone called me to purposely do something to someone's food, I would instantly think of myself and say, nah, I ain't doing that. But no, not some of you. So that lets me know you're already corrupt. So when people say, forgive and be nice, and yeah, you forgive and you be nice and you pray and you ask the Creator to avenge you of them. Because people like that, while you're out on an outing with your family or whomever, if you didn't know you were a targeted individual, right? But you knew something was like tracking you, trying to harm you. You knew something was going on abnormal. Then, of course I did pray over my food. And again, I did ask the Creator, is it okay for me to eat here? And so they did what they did, and the Most High let me feel the remnant of it. But their intentions, He is not allowing for it to take root unto me. Perhaps it can take root what they wanted to happen to me. You wanted me to have a heart attack. You wanted my blood pressure to rise and me to go into a coma or whatever. I don't know. Why would you do that? But like I said, for anybody to participate in that, you already have to be corrupt. Because if you don't know me, then that means you should not have any, that's probably why you were so quick to do it. I'll just keep it on. You're already an indecent person from the start because you don't know me, and so therefore you have no heart or no feelings towards me. Whether or not should I take this money and just go ahead and do it, and nobody would know. Well, silly dilly. That's so stupid, right? Because you don't know what a person got going on. You don't know if the person that you're getting ready to harm has contacted a law enforcement authority. And they're playing possum with her, you, and everybody. And so therefore, they're, possibly dotting their I's, crossing their T's. And so you just never know what's going on. And that goes with when you're praying for someone. You don't know if they did something like this to somebody intentionally. Not by mistake, but it was very much intentional. So That's why it's so important to have wisdom and discernment and ask God for His will to be done when we're praying for anybody. That goes for the children too. Because as we know with King David, what he did to Bathsheba's husband, when Bathsheba had their son, the Most High took their child from them the same way David intentionally put her husband out there on the front lines, so that he could be killed so he can have her. Right. So anyway, my exes, you all are toxic. I don't know why you steady coming after me. I do not know why. Because there is never a place for you in my house, around my house, in my heart. There's not a place for you. It's not even a place for the family dynamic that I separated myself from. Right? That's why I'm way over here, and y'all supposed to be way wherever you are. But then there's, some crazy things that's going on here, because I still have questions about who am I truly, Sandra. I'm sure I will get my answers. I'm just, asking if there are any hidden helpers out there. I just really would like this wrapped up. I would like my life back, because, I almost felt like I did something wrong when I put that restaurant on blast. But why would I feel that way when I came there as a patron to patronize your restaurant that I have never eaten at before? And of course, my waitress, she was nice, but I did see the eyes staring, and the other person that brought me my salad, and the one that delivered my plate of food, I did see the eyes staring. I noticed two men that came in that was speaking to the one that brought me my salad. And when she walked away from their table, she looked back at me. So that tells me, okay, did they come there to tell her something to do to my food? Were those the two ones? But then there were two other guys at the bar there in the restaurant that were looking at me and saying different things like, oh yeah, when they go boom, and like saying, oh, when her heart bursts or whatever, or she passed out from eating this food. But the grace of the Most High is so awesome. Whatever those individuals and the ones who called upon you or paid you or wanted this to happen for me, may the Most High return it back to you 7 ways worse. Whatever your intentions were to harm me today, may the Most High return it back to you 7 ways worse, and continue to keep me thriving and alive and going about my day in this beautiful world, trying to live and not be harmed by rejected, immature, should already know you are not coming back here in my life. You are not going to continue to steal what's mine. You made a conscious decision to become a thief, to become a murderer, to become a scam artist. And now that every attempt you made on my life has become gloomy, a failure, and I'm still here speaking to you directly. You feel like you have to continue to do more and all this tracking. I mean, people, I tell you what, I am very much over this mess. Very much. However, it is very taxing, very it's very taxing. That's all I have to say. I mean, some of you feel like because I have escaped your abuse over and over, you feel like, oh, well, she can keep taking our abuse. Like you have me in this wash, rinse, repeat. Let's try this time. Let's do this time. I want the Most High to avenge me of this situation, because this is a war. By individuals that bleed, that have the same organs that I have, except in the midsection for some of us. And why, our judicial system find it so difficult to make a decision on who is right and who is wrong. What I do know is, if the mother figure Sandra said that I was unalive, well, how could that be when you're looking at my video or my videos? If there was something that an ancestor wrote out, inscribed their name, inscribed my name for something for me to have from them, and then some people, while I was yet a youngster, if not an infant, decided that we're not giving her anything. We're not going to teach her anything. That's why most I say, come to me as a child, as a babe. Because when you think you're so wise, you know nothing at all. Not saying you can't use your mind, but at least not you recognize that the Creator wants to be in your business, as He is even with the people in the dark. He's in everybody's business because we are a branch of Him. We are an extension of the Most High. So when we come out of the mother figure, right? He said, okay, that baby came out breathing, crying, and now smiling, cuckooing at the mother and father. So I'm going to give them free will, and I'm going to give the parents free will to raise that child and give that child, as we ought to be giving our bodies daily, back to the Most High. As we ask, can you please order my steps as well, Most High? Will you please bless me with wisdom today and discernment, and fill me with the Holy Spirit? Lean not unto your own understanding. Let the Creator give you some hindsight. Now, my family dynamic said that I'm out of my mind, that I don't know how to handle finances responsibly. Or maybe it was Kenny. the ex-husband, because you and I both went to work. You, at the start of our dating and marriage, brought your payroll to me. But then after purchasing the house, maybe I'll say maybe about a month or maybe even a year after purchasing the house, not even quite a year, you started acting funny again with the finances. And then someone within that county, because there's someone always in the picture, meaning Sandra and them, who were and is still my saboteurs, trying to sabotage everything that I tried to accomplish when I was working at Echo Drugs as a photo tech. Did my job very well. You sabotaged that by speaking something ill to Mr. Watkins. When I was a cashier at Save-A-Lot of Winn-Dixie or Bell's, you did something there where you sabotaged that, and you were trying to sabotage my 15 and a half year position. But I was a little bit more mature than back then, because back then I was a mother of 3, and unfortunately I knew that if I lose this job, I did have the government assistance to fall back on to sustain me. And somehow I believe I did have like housing assistance, which some children, not some, but having little children back then was helpful as far as your housing situation. So the only thing that Sandra could do was to sabotage my job and make it look like I couldn't hold a job. But if you wasn't in the background making phone calls, paying people, like when I went out to eat, some of y'all, if not the elitists, because I was, in a place that's considered ritzy, if you will. And so I thought I would, take myself there and see what it was about. And that's what it was about, is a very easy, and not making any, I'm not racist, because I see people as people, but we do know and we all see that in the community in which I look like is always confusion and very much division. And so that's how come some of us do not make it in the long run, because it's so much chaos, jealousy, and bitterness. But one thing for certain, other ethnicities, they know how to work together. Even if they don't like one another, they do know how to work together. So, I just decided to leave that area because I know what... I just decided to leave that area, and I'll let you use your imagination why. But anyway, like I said, it's just a shame if you cannot go in peace and patronize a restaurant. So I'm not sure who all was involved, but I really do want the Most High to address it. Right. Because if you were intentionally trying to raise my blood pressure, or give me something where my heart would burst. That's not cool at all. That is actually attempted murder. And for you to do that to someone who came to patronize your restaurant, that's why I have made up in my mind now that this beast that fight and attack me, I'm going to document it, because again, I know that I have contacted then the seating Attorney General Ashley Moody. Then you became senator. So then I contacted now Attorney General Pam Bondi. I contacted Governor DeSantis. I contacted U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. I don't mean to mess up your name, but those two names are your names. I just don't remember which one goes in front. So please forgive me, not trying to make fun of the name, just forgive me. Now, at any rate, what I do know is this family dynamic in my ex-husband and ex-lover, or even my child, one of my child's father, Sean, who has told his daughter, made her make a decision to come up against me, is just quite frankly, I don't know, that's crazy for a father figure to assassinate his daughter's life like that by giving her poor judgment, by giving her the idea of trying to take over her mother's life. Through mind manipulation and dark magic. I thank God that He woke me up to what you all were doing, and what you have done to me. It did not and will not have a lasting effect upon my forward movement or my present day. And I just want the Most High to really address all of your little clique, this little group, that your diabolical, die-hard nature to prey on innocent people, to see what they have, whether spiritually or tangibly. You want to prey on others. I want the Holy Spirit to expose you so that others will be saved and safe. I want you to be exposed for who you are and how you get down. Because when I was working, and I was working hard to come up, or feel good about myself after being abandoned by a husband. And I said, well, okay, I'll go stay with this brother that I thought would be a brother and not an attempted murderer, a character assassinator, one who put cameras all in the house, looking at, if you are my brother, looking at your sister in nude, taking a dump, whatever I was doing, because you had cameras all over the house, unbeknownst to me. And then John, the lover, the one with HIV, you did the same thing in your apartment. I didn't consent to us having any sex encounter. I would never do that with any of my partners. So if you or any of you did that and you are making money off of that, I do and will sue you. That's what you do need to know. Prosecute you and all. And you know, what you're looking at me in my car right now, you're doing the same thing. Because I do sometimes relieve my bladder inside my car. So if you're taking pictures and using it on the internet as your little reality show, making money off of me, if I ever get news of that, however many pennies you made off of me, I intend to get back. I intend to prosecute you. What you do need to know is I love me, right? Now, I didn't consent to you, nor do I want the whole world looking at me, but because you have been so intoxicating and intrusive, I have become immune. So what I now want is for the Most High to give me my vengeance, to bring me my justice. I want him to judge you, because that's what you do deserve. Because you have made a judgment on my life. You have said, whatever her ancestors have left her, we aren't giving her a dime. We are, in fact, going to make contracts and bind one another and unbind her from her own contract. And I rebuke you in the holy name of Yeshua, that whatever contract my ancestors have my name on, you are going to give that all back to me with compensation and vindication and prosecution for you. I decree that on all dimensions and realms. See, unlike other people whom you may have harmed, hurt, or you say, oh my God, they put my picture on, blah, 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 blah. I'm not suicidal. I love me. I love me so much that the thought of you going to prison or pushing up daisies is like an orgasm. I know you heard me say that before, because I have different facets of what turns me on, because I'm not sexual. So I just use that term, that it would just feel that good to see that my justice is going to be served. And I will be rid of you who want to continue to bother me when I just want you to leave me alone. Give me back what you owe me. But no, that's too much like right. You think you got your pocket book popos and lawyers and judges and senators and politicians and governors and attorney generals all in your pocket? Well, I already told you about that. You know, the Most High loves me. He is fighting for me. Yes, I do get a little impatient, because this seemed like, which it has been a lifetime for me dealing with Sandra and them, because she is the only mother that I remember at this point. And then now that I'm in my 50s, realizing that it was the family dynamic, and then the others that they incorporated, and then the others that sit in high places that don't want me to have what's rightfully mine. Instead of allowing and doing foolishness in your position, That's why these little peons that I know as family or classmates or acquaintances or co-workers or random strangers in this town that I'm in now, because they are random strangers to me, but who knows, they might be related to me because I don't truly know my family history or dynamic. But to God be the glory that I shall live, and I will obtain what's rightfully mine, because I am the first, and you shall be last. And your wealth, because your wicked, is mine. So, you all want to keep up this shenanigan bull crap, doing what you think you're big enough or bad enough to do. But I know that the Creator, who sees all, looks low, sees everything that you are doing and that you have done to me. And the Most High knows I am tired of this foolishness. I mean, again, I'm not getting sidetracked with the ISIS situation, because as we know, those people were invited over here before, and even though you want them out of here, there's a way to do it when they have been over here for how many months, working, doing whatever. Not saying that we want anyone over here breaking the law or committing crimes, but as I know it in my situation, it's people who are of the United States that are domestic terrorists. So I don't feel no type of way about ISIS, nor am I getting distracted by that, because there's a situation of terrorism going on in the Attorney General's office, obviously, Governor DeSantis' office, obviously, Congress, obviously, DOJ, obviously, because I know that I am being targeted. And why it has not been resolved yet? Because we have a whole military that's also corrupt. The Pentagon, there's some bull crap going on in there too. See, when you put people in power, if their heart and mind is not right, they tend to go by the wayside and think that their job allows them to be murderers, thieves, robbers, and do what they want to do, especially if you have something in place where, you have absolute immunity, absolute power to be the monster that you want to be, and still come on camera and smile and say whatever it is you want to say to the people to make it look like you're an upstanding person. So if you're upstanding, then stop treating me like that one doctor said Black or African Americans, they can take pain. I think that's stuck in some of you all's head. When you did what you did with Henrietta Lacks, instead of paying more attention to actually helping her to heal, you were fascinated by what you took out of her body, and you paid more attention to that than her and her symptoms. And I rebuke all of you in the holy name of Yeshua, and may the Most High avenge me of all of that, your hidden agenda. I want my justice. If you call yourself the judicial system, then I don't care if you don't like me. Because, quite frankly, if I knew who you really were, I probably wouldn't like you either. But if I was the Attorney General, I could not put my feelings into what I do not like, because that's not my job description. Nor is it a right of law to even think that you can have that kind of complacency to say, I'm not going to do anything for her because she speaks up for herself. She's telling our business. See, if that is the nature of the beast, then I want the Holy Spirit to reveal who you are so the people can revote and get the riffraff or the personnel that's not doing anything for the people when a person has a real situation going on. And then the real people who work around you, who probably say, damn, I want that job, I want that position. I'm praying that they saying that and they see your evil, wicked ways. And when you're smiling and having lunch and saying, hey, patting them on the back, and they're saying that in their minds, I'm going to have your position. I hope that's going on. Septuagint, Maripah, Mahashala Hashbaz in your camp. If you want to act like Babel, may it find you. And your snare that you try to entrap everybody else in, may it become your trap. May that person who know that you're not doing your job for some, if that be the case, which, I don't know if it is or not, but what I do know is, if you knew the Pentagon, right, if these people, these little minion, these little old people who go to church, have y'all all pent up in a bunch where y'all just cannot find your head from the tail to know who's doing wrong and who's doing what, then when you go get the military like you did for ICE, why can't you use the military for this situation so it can get wrapped up? Because there's a discriminatory nature going on. May the Most High fix that too. Because again, even if I didn't like someone and I was in your position, I would have to do my damn job. Or be subjugated to a strong rebuke of being fired, losing my pension, and or going to prison for possible murder or premeditated murder or attempted murder or failure to do my job that but for ended up in a murder or a death because I did not do my job. So when you have issues like that, you need to step back. Maybe you need to ask for a predecessor to sit in while you go seek counsel, if that's what's going on. Because I know that I am being stopped. The state of Florida have made me an enemy of a state that I somehow grew up in, but I don't know everybody of the state, nor have I did anything to the state of Florida but be myself. Yet I'm in another state and I'm still being harassed, followed, tricked, almost derailed. Someone trying to do different things to my food. Shame on you. I mean, if you have a business and if the Most High say, okay, you want to do that to my daughter, I'm going to make you lose revenue. That's undoubtedly you're at work, so you must like your job and you need that paycheck, right? Just like I came there as a human being, patronizing, because I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know how you cook because I've never been there. So instead, you decided to become an enemy of mine because you don't know me either. Unless, I did say on one of my videos, my stalkers, because they're being, seen for who they are, so they travel the world. They move about. Somebody funds them to do that. I wonder who that is. That's the person that really do need for the Most High to pay close attention to. Because you, sir, man, are a real threat to a society of unsuspected people who are just merely trying to live. I want the Most High to really just do something with the saboteurs on this earth. That's what you are, saboteurs. Saboteurs of chaos. Anyway, you need to think about what you do, because it is going to come back to you in some form or another. Because again, I don't want to harm anybody, but if I'm forced to protect myself, then I will, and that is my right to do so. You, on the other hand, who are after me, you do not have a leg to stand on when you created this chaos for my life and for your life to end. Right, you the one need to go off the earth, not me. Because I would never fight against myself. And one might say, well, why are you talking to these people who have the power to do this or that to you? Well, they're already doing this or that to me. Is that why Harriet Tubman was like, F you, I'm going to make my way up out of here. I'm going to go underground, and this is how I'm going to get me and the people who want to escape this abuse and this enslavement. And the others, when you speak up about your situation that you are truly going through, and since it is a melting pot of people, it's not only Caucasian, blacks, I got Asians, Caucasians, Honduran, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Africans who have decided to attack me, and God knows I don't know any of you outside of the family dynamic, or if you came around when I was younger, and I'm now older, but I never seen you since. I don't remember you, so I don't know you. But you know me and you're attacking me, so you must have done something to me and you're trying to save face. But I decree and declare, no, you won't. Whatever you have done is going to be revealed. You're going to be stopped. You're going to be brought to justice. You're going to be prosecuted for the things that you have done, are doing, and you're going to be sentenced. and hopefully not to no playground federal penitentiary. That is, if some of you don't commit suicide like you're trying to send to me. I reject that and I send it back to you. May Judas Iscariot visit you. Because if you really want to know the truth, if you don't want to change, it will be better that you do be up under a tombstone, time stamped of your death. If you don't want to change, if you want to continue to mistreat people, like human beings are your toy to annihilate at will when you freaking want to. Is that what that Bathory woman did, along with others? What was her name? Emily Bathory? See, so some of you need to check your own self, because I know that I'm nothing like you. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. I just wanted to get on camera just to make sure that, the food that I did consume, that I had to take a napkin and wipe the sauce off, cut the bottom part of my salmon that had too much seasoning on it off. But anyway, thank you, Most High, that I am still here to tell my truth, not a lie, and to make my assessment of what I think is going on. Now, if it does not apply to you, then don't pick it up. But if it does apply to you, you should be concerned about your behaviors. Because, some of you are holders of knowledge in other people's business. And may the Creator expose your business, if that's how you want to get down. Because everybody has a day, right? So hopefully it's your day. For the murders you already have committed. Because, again, what you doing, whatever you have done to me, this is not any of you first rodeo. Now, is it Jocelyn Scott? It's not your first rodeo. I had a whole government job stealing from me, capitalizing off of me, trying to frame me. So I say to anybody who has a computer job or what have you, whatever way you need to protect yourself, because you have, I see some people who be at their job recording, making their videos, saying, this is what I do on a daily basis. And I know some places try to be slick and say no phones allowed, because they know if they do something to you, then you have nothing to record them. And that needs to stop. Just like when it was a whole bunch of police brutality and people wanted the situation to be explained and justice to prevail, whether or not the person who was deceased or the officer was in the right when that person was deceased, or whatever, however it went. That's why it shouldn't be one-sided with anything, like having a secret court without the main person, which is I. Not that fake wannabe or fakes that wannabe me or have what I should have and will be getting. But anyway, what I do know is everybody in due time, in due season, will meet their demise or be blessed by the good deeds that they have done. And like I said, if we have a judicial system that is biased unto whom they will help, that is a major problem for the whole dichotomy of a judicial system, because that would mean you are very much biased, prejudiced, and corrupt. And then, if that be the case, why do we need you? Hello, why would we need a law enforcement agency that me coming to you with my truth, not those ones that have called you and told you to put me on the FBI watch list. Not those. I'm talking about the ones who truly need your service of protecting and serving justice for a victim, and to show the community that you are about your business or your employmency. Or laying down the gavel, judge or judges, because it is very crucial that you are not biased. Because like we all have seen teenagers go to court. Yes, they may have done something very heinous. They have. But if they're a teen and their household is messed up, yes, they should do time, but shouldn't they also be getting some type of treatment? Because their mind is still developing. Unlike you all, the ones that's over 21, you're a whole adult. And you were told to be pillars of a community, meaning whoever's younger than you, or if you see something, say something, be, the person that does the right thing, or, the community children, help them along the way to do the right thing, become productive. I mean, what happened to all of that? It takes a village to raise children. Right now, I would not want any of you around my children. And I know not everybody is like that, but after going through this, I would caution anyone with your child, if at all possible, the first 4 years, if you could manage to stay with them, that will be a blessing. But I know this economy is messed up. There's a very big imbalance with wages, with rent, with mortgages. because of a pandemic that caused a ripple effect. So, we need to be working on that, Congress people, politicians. We need to be helping families stay together. If United States of America, the home of the brave, where you, before games, you want to have the Pledge of Allegiance and the song that you do to a flag, which is making that an idol. I pledge allegiance to Elohim, the giver of life, the author and finisher of my fate. May you bless this game and the participants to be healthy, strong, and stay alive and not be harmed without incident or accident. As we watch this game, may we be fulfilled with a wholesome excitement. Not I pledge allegiance to no flag, no cloth that doesn't have a feeling, that can't make a decision. And that's what you did in the public schools, and that's why so much chaos. Teachers molesting children coming into the school, shooting, or an adult coming into the school, right? Because we pledge allegiance to a flag. I did that when I was young, dumb, and full of calm, but I no longer will do that. I pledge allegiance to the Creator, who helps me and protects me daily from these atrocities and demon humans who are attacking me and my well-being. Anyway, y'all want to hear me say it because y'all fixated on that for some reason. You have to forgive your enemies. Oh yes, I forgive them. I'm talking about what they did so it could possibly help or save someone else. I'm talking to the Most High because I do want Him to avenge me of them. And that's all in my forgiveness of them, where they haven't even asked me for it. And quite frankly, they don't deserve it because they do it on a daily basis, like every second of every minute of every hour. But because I am obedient to the Most High, I forgive them. And I still want Him to observe them and rid me of them. That's what you do need to know. So anyway, do as you may. But all I know is when the Most High got mad with the way things were going, He allowed people to be enslaved. He saved some on Noah's ship. He flooded Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. So we do know that there's consequences, not excluding death. Okay? So anyway, it is what it is. And King David, when Goliath was taking the resources, which would inevitably, if they would allow him to continue, would have destroyed his finances or crops and or family. So if you must hear me say, oh, I forgive my enemies, and in the same breath, I want the Most High to avenge me of them, is that not what he say to ask for? Okay. Then you heard it all in one sentence. Period.